Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So, today we have two articles, but both talked about the same topic, so we will discuss them together. The first one is from the Hindu newspaper, which is titled as Imperious Missteps, and the other is from the Indian Express, which is titled as Misadministrator. So this article talks about the recently brought into picture draft Lakshadweep Development Authority regulation, which is actually given sweeping powers to the administrator of Lakshadweep. So what actually is this draft law and what would be the repercussions of this law have been discussed in this article. And finally, we have the News and Flash column. This newspaper analysis is presented to you by me. My name is Sheva Khan. I am a law graduate and had completed my law degree from Uttaranchal University in the year 2019. I have been the batch gold medalist and also been a national level debater and public speaker throughout my educational career. Here at LawSikho, I work as current affairs expert and manager for free content and outreach. If you wish to connect with me, you can always find me on my Twitter as well as LinkedIn handles. The links to both are available in the description. So as a new beginning, let's start this discussion with a very good and positive note, which is a very good Egyptian proverb, which reads like, what you are doing does not matter so much as what you are learning from doing it. And definitely that should be the motto whenever we sit around to learn something new. And thus, keeping in mind that how hard these times have been in the times of COVID-19, let's stay positive and try to learn something new every other day. Let's see what is the multiple choice question from yesterday's discussion. COVID-associated mucormycosis recently seen in news is also known as, your options are yellow fungus, black fungus, white fungus, or none of the above. If you know the answer, you can put it down in the comment section below. This is a descriptive question for the day. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Critically discuss the statement in the light of the draft Lakshadweep Development Authority regulation. Please keep in mind that whenever any question has the term critically written, so we need to analyze the given statement in merits as well as demerits, which means that not only the advantages but also the disadvantages, that is both sides of the arguments, have to be presented in the answer. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to very delightfully announce the new segment update. So we at LawSikho are pleased to announce that from 1st June 2021, we will be sharing a separate and more comprehensive video for News in Flash, which will be covering all daily important news information relevant for competitive exams, especially the Judicial Services exam, law entrance examinations, and other legal examinations. So the video will be uploaded on both the channels, that is LawSikho Judiciary Test Prep channel as well as LawSikho CLAT Prep channel. So please feel free to subscribe to both the channels and to look forward to these news and flash columns, which will be more comprehensive, and thus we will be trying to provide better analysis over there. Let's get started with the discussion which talks about misadministration in Lakshadweep. So Lakshadweep has turned restive following Praful Khodas, who has been appointed basically as the administrator of Lakshadweep. So actually what has been seen is that this administrator, whose name is Praful Khoda, has been giving some misdirected interventions, and that is why it is considered to be as misadministration in Lakshadweep. So let's understand this entire issue in a better detail. So since Khoda's appointment as the administrator of Lakshadweep, many unilateral plans for development were taken. Now here two things have to be seen. Firstly, that these plans or all of these suggestions are kind of unilateral, which means that when, for example, any country, any place, any community has to be developed, so it is not something that can be done only through one direction. Rather, it needs to be made sure that the community also is engaged into it. In this scenario, we need to understand that anything that is done unilaterally has a high chance of not being accepted by the people, which ultimately is the case in Lakshadweep as well. And the other thing that we need to mark here is the development. Now, what might be development for me as an administrator might not be the development for the people who reside there. Just imagine that if at all the people for whom this so-called development is taking place or is being planned, they are not happy with the development. So can it really be called development in the real sense? Obviously not. So that is why there are some things that we need to discuss about this particular draft law, which has brought some kinds of restrictions. Now, what are these restrictions? Firstly, to ban the slaughter, sale, and consumption of beef. Secondly, prevention of antisocial activities regulation, that anyone could be held in prison without reason. Third, the Muslims fear that the Khoda's interventions, that is the administrators' interventions, are part of a larger plan showing disregard to their social, cultural, and economic life. And the draft Lakshadweep Development Authority regulation has actually stoked the fears in the local population that it is aimed at facilitating the entry of capital from outside the islands for acquisition. One thing that we need to understand is that both Lakshadweep as well as the islands of Andaman and Nicobar, they are very special in their character. The reason being that the people who reside here are very much endemic. So definitely it is open to trade and tourism, and people from outside countries as well as from mainland India also travel to both Lakshadweep as well as Andaman and Nicobar Islands. But what needs to be kept in mind is that they definitely want to preserve their culture and community. Now, in such situation, it is being seen that these kinds of movements or these kinds of unilateral directions or steps that are being taken by the administrator of Lakshadweep are ultimately trying to put into or to facilitate the entry of capital from outside the islands for acquisition, which means that anybody could from mainland India maybe, or even from the outside countries, could easily move into Lakshadweep and it could settle down, thus devastating and destroying the normal or the available or the local community or the local prestige and also the local culture of Lakshadweep, which definitely is not something that is good. And also, if we say that anybody can be arrested and held in prison without reason, so this is something, such a barbaric law, wherein at one place we talk about the fundamental rights and specifically the right to life and also right to freedom, right to movement. And in such situation, if at all we have a provision that can hold anyone in prison without even any reason, that definitely is violative of the fundamental rights as well. So if you remember, at the time of the Jallianwala Bagh incident in the year 1919, at that time also we had the Rowlatt Act in motion. That act also was something which provided that anybody could be held in jail or trial could be initiated against anybody without even any logical reason. So are we still bound in such chains? No, we are not. And that is why the local people of Lakshadweep are very much uncomfortable with these kinds of legislations or these kinds of unilateral plans for so-called development that have been taken. So if we talk about this draft in a better detail, so it actually gives sweeping powers to the administrator to acquire, plan, develop, and also to develop the land and forcibly relocate the people. And also it says that harsh punishment could be given to those who resist. Now, definitely this is something kind of a dictatorship, and definitely India is a democracy. And in such situation, we cannot really force the people to leave their own local lands and relocate themselves to some other areas. And if at all they resist, they can be also subjected to punishments, which definitely is not fair. Now, there are also some other issues which are attached with this particular legislation, that those who have more than two children cannot contest panchayat elections. Now, this something seems to be a law that is retrospectively punishing, because see, for the future things this can be done, that maybe after so and so years, if somebody has two children, he might not be allowed to take up the or contest the elections for panchayat in order to control the population of the country. But if at all somebody who already has two children, and if we are barring even that person from contesting the elections, this definitely takes away his right to represent himself, his right to put forward the freedom of speech and expression as well. And the traditional livelihood of fishing communities has been impeded, as they have also been denied access to coastlines. So as we know that it is an island union territory, and fishing is one of the most important occupations that people take up over there. And if at all we would deny the access to these fishermen to the coastlines itself, then what about their livelihood? Again, the right to livelihood, which is another fundamental right under the meaning of right to life and under Article 21, shall be violated in this regard. And thirdly, its sheds near coastal areas have been demolished. So the sheds near the coastal areas have been demolished, stating violation of the Coast Guard Act. And obviously, they also have not been given any logical and practical subordinate or substitute to their livelihood as well. And that is why this really is not seeming out to be a very real or keen plan to development. Rather, there seems to be a very unilateral and arbitrary movement of the administrator in the Lakshadweep, and definitely something needs to be done in this direction. Let's see, what do we have for news in flash today? So we have a news about Arun Venkatraman. So US President Joe Biden has nominated Indian American Arun Venkatraman for the post of Director General of US and Foreign Commercial Service and Assistant Secretary for Global Markets in the Department of Commerce. He is currently the counselor to the Secretary of Commerce, advising the department on trade and other international economic matters. Second, veteran freedom fighter passes away. H.S. Doraiswamy, who was a centenarian freedom fighter, activist, and Karnataka's noted voice for freedom of expression, passed away at the age of 104 in Bangalore after recently recovering from COVID-19. During freedom struggle, he organized protests and strikes in the erstwhile kingdom of Mysore against the British rule and participated in Quit India movement. He was jailed for 14 months during the time period of 1943 to 1944. With this, we are done for the day. We hope it was a good session for you. Thank you so much for staying tuned with LawSikho. Please subscribe to our channels for such more updates to come.